Hey guys, Station X here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of Nintendo handheld games, mainly DS, 3DS, but we also have some Virtual Boy here as well. Because, I mean, most part this was going to be just DS themed, but I had these here and I figured why not, and I decided to just give it kind of like as a bonus thing. And I guess we could kind of start off with these guys. Now, Virtual Boy does not have many games, there's only 14. And out of the 14, I think I have at least 10 of them. I have to double check. But here are 4 here. 2 of them I have loose, Mario Clash and Virtual League Baseball. So that's pretty cool. And while these aren't like the actual boxes, these are kind of repo boxes, but I have Red Alarm and Vertical Force. I just got them in there because it's nice to have in the boxes and stuff. But I'm probably going to just replace them with the custom game cases or something like that, because I do like these style cases better. I want to just kind of go through the DS and 3DS. So we'll start with the DS first. I'm just going to start from the top and go down. Here we have Power Rangers Samurai. It's kind of cool because I've always been a fan of Power Rangers when I was a kid, so it's nice to see this here as a DS game. It's kind of a mediocre DS game, but I mean, it's pretty cool to have. Here we got the Smurfs. Very cringe movie, but you know, hey, who didn't like the Smurfs when they were a kid? We have this really funky looking Alice in Wonderland. It's, you know, as this thing says, it's inspired by the Tim Burton film. So that's pretty cool. It's been a while since I've seen that film, so I kind of want to go back and try it out. With the Disney theme, Disney Friends, so as the title suggests, it's about Disney stuff. Now, I do like how the back is metallic, like this kind of silvery in here, and on the spine here, and of course it just runs throughout the entire thing, but it's a pretty interesting DS game. And here we have a couple of Harvest Moon games, Harvest Moon DS and Harvest Moon DS Island of Happiness. Never really played a Harvest Moon game, so maybe this will be like my first foray into it. I think this is like pretty sure this is my first Harvest Moon game, so this will be nice to try out. Here we have Monopoly. That's, you know, everyone's heard of Monopoly, so this is pretty self-explanatory here. It's made by EA, which is kind of funny. And he's holding a little DS there, which is kind of cool as well. But yeah, it's just a DS version of Monopoly. Here we have one of the many Nintendogs games. This will make like my 3rd Nintendogs game that I own, but this one specifically is the Lab and Friends edition. And it's just, you know, like the name suggests, you're just taking care of a dog. That's pretty much it. Having a virtual dog. Here we have a really cool game here, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. It's one of the RPG games other than the Paper Mario series that they do. And I mostly stick with Paper Mario. I haven't played too many of these, only like a couple of them. But this one I saw at a store and I was like, yes, I need to get this. It looks cool. I always like seeing these. So wanted to try it out. And this one's a little interesting because it's not the fact that it's Transformers, but it's only at Toys R Us. It's an exclusive Toys R Us game, which, as you guys know, doesn't exist really anymore other than certain exceptions. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it brings me back to a time where, you know, Toys R Us were like very prevalent, and that was something I always used to go to as a kid. And not only did I buy games there, but I bought a lot of my action figures and stuff from there too, so it was pretty cool. Here we have Nickelodeon's MLB. This is cool. It apparently had an exclusive Topps card inside, which I don't think I have in here. Yeah, it's probably not in here. But hey, it's cool that they kind of included a baseball card in here, though. And I mean, I don't know how good the game is, but you know, I mean, one of my favorite games on the DS was Attack of the Toy Bots. So, you know, I always like Nickelodeon games on there and stuff like that. You have Mario Hoops 3-on-3. A little weird title here, but it's basically a Mario basketball game on the DS. Another Mario game on the DS, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Land Mayhem. So this one has downloaded levels for it, so this probably worked really well with the Nintendo DSi. But a really cool game. The Mario and Donkey Kong series is pretty cool, if I don't say so myself. Always looked really interesting. Love the art style to it. But yeah, I love also that it has the red case, which I think is not very common amongst DS games. They're typically that gray case that you always see. But Next one we have here is Pokemon Platinum. Now, this is one of the more expensive DS games. And this here, plus another game we'll get to look at in a little bit, will mark the fact that I'm only missing 4 Pokemon games from the mainline series. And that's Black version 1, White version 2, Fire Red, and Pokemon Emerald. So this one was awesome. I love the cover on this. I mean, just the fact that it's so sparkly and things like that, and it's just awesome. And there's the manual and all that, so that is pretty cool. Nice to have that. Backyard Sports Sandlot. Basically, it's a baseball game that's like, it's kind of like a backyard thing. Sandlot, you know? It's pretty cool. Big baseball fan, so that's another baseball game in the pile here. Here we have Iron Man 2. I actually have the original one, but this is one of those it's one of those games I kind of got for free, so it was like, hey, why not? It was in like a pile of games there, so it didn't really cost me anything. And here we got a couple of Lego games. So we have Lego Batman 2, DC Superheroes, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. I love the Lego games. This one specifically I really liked on the PS3 and 360. And this is one of those Star Wars Lego games I actually never played because this one was a little weird to me. But also, the Lego Batman series, I never had my own copy, but I would always play at a friend's house, and this was just awesome. This was just an awesome time. So much to do in the Lego games. And I guess to round out the last of the DS games, we have another baseball game, this time being Major League Baseball 2K12. Back when 2K did make baseball games. It's kind of funny that the 2K used to make, like 2K Sports used to make so many other sports games other than NBA and I guess WWE now. But back, you know, that's once upon a time. Now it's just those 2 games I think that they do, and then I guess they also do PGA as well. So it's not just 2 anymore. They got 3. But now moving on from that, we have the 3DS. And we got some cool ones here. So we're going to start with another Lego game, the Jurassic World. I actually had this on Xbox One, so it's nice to have a portable version. Although they're usually pretty different in comparison to the later ones. We have Animal Crossing: A New Leaf. Really cool Animal Crossing game. Very nice. We have Fire Emblem Conquest, another Fire Emblem game, which is kind of hard to find. And also, this had like I want to say like a dual release, because I think there's actually 3 games, but I know this had like another version of it, which I forgot the other half's name, but it was pretty cool. I do think it's a little neat concept that they kind of did like a Pokemon thing here. Have One Piece Ultimate World R. Now, I've never seen One Piece, but I thought the cover looked really cool. I've always wanted to get into it, but a lot of friends and family members have told me that this is a pretty long series, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch the entire thing all in one sitting, but I've heard this still is going, so I don't even think it's over yet. So maybe when it's over, I'll finally give this thing a shot. Have Fantasy Life. I'm gonna be honest, it's one of those ones I never heard of. I just saw in the store, thought that this looked cool, so I was like, yeah, why not? You gotta get that in there. And then here we have Skylanders Giants, another one of those freebie games I got. But yeah, it's Skylanders on the 3DS. There's really not much more to say about that. This one's a cool one. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. And I've heard of both of these games, never really played them, but now I have a chance to play. I've heard more about Phoenix Wright than Professor Layton, and I've been wanting to track down the Phoenix Wright games, and so I found this at the store, and this was pretty cool to see. And it's pretty expensive, but I got it for a decent price on this. I didn't spend more than I think $30 on it, which is pretty cool, but yeah, nice to have that. And here we have a couple Monster Hunter games, Monster Hunter Generations and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And the Monster Hunter games I find very tricky to collect because they tend to be exclusive on like random systems. Like I don't remember if these are exclusive to Nintendo specifically, but I know Rise for a while was exclusive for Nintendo, and then there's certain ones exclusive to PlayStation, and yada yada, and it's just like, it's kind of weird how they kind of bounce around like that, but hey, it's cool to have them in the collection. Here we have Cooking Mama Sweet Shop. I have some of the other Cooking Mama games on DS, so this is kind of continuing that on the 3DS. I think I'm missing Cooking Mama 3, so I gotta grab that, but this is another one to add. And then we have it's kind of a RPG farming game. It's a Story of Seasons game, but it's kind of has a long name to pronounce, so I'm not even gonna bother, to be honest. But I thought it was a pretty cutesy looking game, and I don't have too many farming RPGs, so I thought it was pretty cool to kind of finally own one, so that's nice. Last one in this particular pile is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Nickelodeon version. Now, I actually really liked this show when I was watching it back when it first came out, and I've watched the other iterations from time to time, but this one I thought was kind of like the coolest, and kind of also the fact that they brought back not only like the original voice actor for Raphael as Donatello for whatever reason, but they also had that one episode where they just straight up did a crossover with the original TMNT characters, like the original version of that show. But I thought this one also was just really cool. It was a little weird though in its final season that the voice actor for Leonardo just kind of switched. I don't remember the reason why. I think it was because of something happening with the original voice actor doing something stupid, but kind of cool that I have this game on 3DS now. So here we have a couple of Pokemon games. So we have Pokemon Ultra Moon, kind of also just getting me 1 inch closer, like I said, to completing the mainline Pokemon games. And then we also have Pokemon Rumble World, which was a nice, cool little game. Now that I'm kind of getting closer to finishing up the mainline Pokemon titles, I'm trying to get the spin-offs as well, like the other Pokemon games. So that's something that is going to take me a pretty long while, but I mean, hey, we're going to get it started with this. Have also this is puzzle game, Puzzle Dragon Z and Puzzle Dragon Z Super Mario Brothers Edition. So they did like a crossover thing with this here. And I'm a pretty big puzzle guy. I do like my puzzle games, and thought this looked pretty cool and interesting. Here we have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Now, I have the first Luigi's Mansion on both GameCube and 3DS, and so now having the sequel, a lot of people didn't really like this too much. I never gotten a chance to try it out, so I guess you could save that opinion for when I actually play it. But, you know, I've always thought that this would have been a cool thing to have. It was one of the ones that I didn't own, so it was that elusive Luigi's Mansion game, I guess you could say. You always had like that one game that you always hear about. You always wanted to like see it in person. It's kind of got a reputation or if you're a collector, there's like that one missing game in the series that just whatever reason you can't get or find, and then you finally get it. That's what Luigi's Mansion is for me. Here in this last pile, in the last game of this thing, is Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure. Never played a Scribblenauts game, and I mean, I kind of got interested in this just because of the fact that it is DC themed. You know, Batman's my favorite as far as any DC characters, so that's pretty much exclusively the only reason why I bought it. But that'll be it for this, and let's just get them all in the frame. And that'll basically be it for today's video game pickups. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like Nintendo handhelds? Do you like the DS? Do you like the 3DS? Do you think these games were cool to pick up? Which one's your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like the video, a nice subscribe and like would certainly help me out. I've been Stationex, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.